Latifah, and you're watching ZTV on the Higher Learning Network. Put your head right.
But there's a long tradition of these types of voices of conscience. So I just immersed myself in the world of St. Sabina and spent time with Father Mike and his peacekeepers and the community there and tried to learn as much as I could.
We love you on Windy City Live. Yes, we do. Tell us, how did all this happen? How did this come about?
Well, I play me. I play Val Warner in Chirac, which is really cool. So when people see this movie, they are literally seeing Val, and I am a reporter in the movie.
We talk about the violence, but what can we do personally?
I think we got to be engaged, and I think engaged in a number of things. In our block, in our home, in our neighborhood, we got to be engaged. We got to fight the issues. We got to fight a government that is abandoned, whole communities on the south and the west side. We got to fight a governor who's cut out every youth employment program, who's cut out violence prevention programs, who's abandoned our communities and the poor and the vulnerable. And I think we got to reach out to our brothers on the street and love them and respect them and help them, not just demonize them.
My participation is only because of Mr. Spike Lee, our leader, our director, and he reached out to me and blessed me with the opportunity to be in this film and said that his mission was to save lives in the south side of Chicago.
I'll just say like this. First of all, give you the history of coming to Chicago and telling my jokes as a young cat. I'm 37 now. I started about almost 15 years ago. Elroy taking me under his wing, let me do some jokes here and there for the radio stations and all that kind of stuff.
We are more than that. We are more than that. We're greater than that. And I feel like in places like this, or Chicago, or whatever you want to call it, the hood, whatever you want to call it, like, it's too much attention dwelled on the negative.
I learned that no matter what you do and how much of a genuine heart you have, and if you're coming from a good place, people are going to criticize if they don't agree with what you're doing.
Hi, we're from Empire, and you're watching the Higher Learning Network.
So how long have you been standing here?
Not too long, like an hour. So we're moving in fast. This is a good sign.
Yo, what's up? It's your man Tony Schofield from 106.3 Chicago's R&B, and you are watching Men on Higher Learning. Now, I used to hang around with some men that was into some higher learning. It just wasn't that kind of higher learning, but I got myself together now, okay?
What is it that you do in your quiet time, in your meditation time, that allows you to bring us the films that you do?
I sit courtside in Madison Square Garden, world's most famous arena.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, konnichiwa. In Korea, annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, zdravstuyte. In Germany, guten Tag. In Poland, dzień dobry. In France, bonjour. In Spain, hola. In Italy, ciao. In Egypt, ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, akwaba. In Nigeria, peleo. In South Africa, sawubona. In Senegal, nangadef. In Kenya, jambo. In Israel, shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed, into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness sessions on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening. So, how did you become associated with the urban farming guys?
I just seen their videos on YouTube a while back ago, like maybe like 6 or 7 years ago or something.
Okay.
And they just inspire me because they took over like an area of Kansas City. They just started buying houses for $1. It was in a really bad area, you know, and so none of the houses had like any appliances or pipes in it and stuff because the people were stealing stuff out of them, and like the neighborhoods were really strung out and violent. And he went over there and started buying these houses and like growing mushrooms and like farming and doing all kinds of stuff. And like now he's got the whole community over there, a whole like neighborhood of Kansas City, Missouri, this like out of poverty and generating like millions of dollars, and they all have organic food. They got like tool banks and stuff like that where people can come and like pay like I think it's like $25 or something like that, and they can get tools and everything they need for a month and like have all kinds of stuff, 3D printer access, like all kinds of stuff. And this community is like coming up, and yeah, he's really cool, all organic and making their own products.
Wow. So it's possible. And I hope someone who's watching this video will realize that you can control what you eat, because our children think that food grows in the store on the aisle, and it doesn't. Nothing about farming. They think when you pull a bag off the shelf, something just automatically pops up there, and you can go back and get some when you get some more money. They don't know anything about farming. When I was a kid, I knew nothing about farming. We grew up in this concrete jungle. We don't know anything about farming. What's that?
You know what I just learned recently? Because I was farming oyster mushrooms. I just learned that you can teach oyster mushrooms how to eat cigarette buds and like plastic bottles and stuff like that. Anything that's really got any fossil fuels and is made from oil products or whatever. And it'll break it down and turn it into mycelium, and then the bugs eat it and stuff, and it's organic matter again.
Oyster, what did you call them?
Oyster mushroom mycelium. It's the mycelium from that grows oyster mushrooms.
Wow. Oyster mushrooms mycelium. I'll Google that.
Yeah, mycelium.
Oh, mycelium.
Yeah.
Let me just write it over.
Yeah. Yeah, because the mushroom's just a fruit that grows off of the mycelium.
Oh, okay.
They're really good. The oyster mushrooms are amazing, and they're super intelligent. But
and where do you find them? Where are they?
They grow all over the world, actually. I think from what I understand, everywhere I've been in the United States has them pretty much, except for really high elevations and stuff. They'll grow on certain type of trees when the trees are down in the forest. and you can like just get them and throw them in some hay after that and grow them like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Never.
they're really easy to grow actually.
Oh wow, never heard of that one. Whoa. Okay. So, and you learned that from the urban farming guy.
No, I didn't learn that from the urban farming guys. I just learned that growing some mushrooms. I was farming oyster mushrooms because
Oh.
I like to eat them, and so I was growing them. And then I found that out about them, and I was like mind blown. I was like, these are super awesome mushrooms. So I started training mushrooms to actually eat cigarette buds. It was a while ago. I'm not farming them anymore, but it's not that hard.
And yeah, that would have really helped the planet. Talk about
Yeah,
recycling.
that's the number one pollutant on the planet. Then and they
Exactly.
take like I can't remember. They say like 500 or 5,000 some years, something like that, for like a cigarette bud to break
Yeah.
down. And with oyster mushrooms, you can break them down within a couple months.
Within a couple of months. How large are they? What's their size?
It depends. Some of them can get really big. Like I grew some oyster mushrooms that were like huge, but usually they're smaller. And if you go to a grocery store or something and find them, they'll be smaller usually. You might get lucky and find some like hand-sized mushrooms, but
So you
they
can
can get,
actually eat them?
oh yeah, they're amazing. And they have like three like totally unique textures throughout the cooking stages. So like if you get it raw and you slice an oyster mushroom up, it's just like a the mushrooms you're gonna get out of the grocery store, when you slice them. And then when you cook it a little bit, it'll get like slimy, like if you want to cook it for a soup or whatever and have that kind of like slimy texture if you like that. But if you like the you cook it and saute it and it's a meaty texture. If you saute it until it's done, like it's a really meaty texture. And so you can eat it as like a meat supplement or substitute, I guess, if you're vegan and stuff like that with a lot of dishes.
I'm not vegan, but I'm working on it. But I love mushrooms, and I hated mushrooms as a kid. I mean, hated them.
Yeah.
And
The
now,
ones in the grocery store aren't like, they're not like these ones. Oyster mushrooms are in a different category. And so are a lot of other mushrooms that you'll find in the wild, like morels and stuff. You eat those and they're just not the same as what people are used to.
okay, so what category are they, and where do you find them in the store? Are they fresh? Are they in a
No,
can?
you're gonna end up paying quite a bit of money for them, and they're gonna be dried up in a grocery store. Now, if you can, yeah, if you can get them in season though, like I know sometimes you can find them on Craigslist. Like you can find morel mushrooms or oyster mushrooms on Craigslist if there's a mushroom hunter in your area, or you can Google like mushroom hunters, or mushroom buyers, and the mushroom buyers might they might sell you some mushrooms at a little higher price than what the hunters will, but they should have a lot of different varieties of what's local in the area, and they'll have it fresh.
Okay. Craigslist. I mean, who would have thunk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can look on Craigslist and Google.
And just Google it. So you would not find them at your ordinary grocery store, is that what you're saying?
You might, but they're gonna be dried.
Oh,
And if you
okay.
like in Northern California in the health food stores, you can totally find them up in the grocery store fresh, but they're gonna be expensive.
Okay. So what are we talking about expensive? One expensive to one person may not be expensive to the next person.
Like $20 an ounce or whatever, or yeah,
That's
something
expensive.
like that, or a pound.
$20 I hope it's $20 a pound and not an ounce.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I think $20 a pound or so. It sounds about right for the morels. Maybe a little bit more. It might be like 35 or 42, like depending, somewhere between there.
Alrighty, I'm making notes here. Okay. Now, on your journey to discovering more about life and energy, how did that happen?
Well, the force is in everything. Like you've watched Star Wars, right? The force, like where they say use the force.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's in everything. The force, like we can connect with the force and then move and let it move through us, and we can learn to hold and harness this force and develop our connection with it, and we can do magic. Like it's real energy and it's tangible, and you can start off like really easy, and you can do it in a couple different ways. Like I learned how to do it through meditation, and so like physical exercises, like you can practice like squeezing your hand. You can just practice squeezing your hand, and then you can just squeeze your hand without physically moving it. Practice doing that, and you're going to send energy through your nervous system, and you're going to start connecting with the force, and you should start to feel tingles on your skin and things like that, and you can connect with this energy, and it's conscious, and the more emotional you get when you connect with it in like a good way, the easier it is to connect with things in nature. So like love and good vibes.
And talking about good vibes, there was some good vibes going on this past weekend.
Oh yeah, that was pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, that was past interesting, honey. That was in my book. That was whew, that was an experience. You know how you see things on television?
Yeah.
And how did they do that? There's a trick. Is there somebody behind a curtain pulling some strings?
Man, there was no curtains there. That was you who did it. You, me, the force, the energy. We just all like put our energy together and change the magnetic field of the person, because our hands are like magnetic. And so when we put them over top, like the way it goes here, I'll walk everybody who's watching this through it, because you can like use the law of attraction a lot more efficiently if you're the one in the middle of it. It's kind of a sacred practice right there, actually. But you sit the person down, or you lay the person down, and you have them in the middle. And the place is like you're gonna use your hands, I guess, to lift the person. You don't really have to lift the person, but to lift the person, you just put your hands underneath their knees and they're like armpits, and you can lift them up. They're like perfectly balanced, and they're pretty much weightless. They just go up with no effort. But you start it off by laying the person down, sitting them down, and then whoever's gonna start it off, they'll put out their left hand, and then the next person to their left will put out their left hand, and it just keeps going around in a circle. And you want space in between the hands. And then you keep, after everyone's put out their left hands, they'll put their right hand out in the same pattern, going in the same direction, until all four people have both of their hands in the circle. And you just hold it. You just hold that position with your hands apart, and you'll start to feel the energy. Everybody will start to feel the energy. You can you can synchronize your breath, and you can make it more effective and quicker by just taking a deep breath in together. That's what I had us do. And then you just take your hands out in the same or the opposite order. So to start from the top and go completely backwards with the right hands and working its way down. And then their magnetic field is recalibrated, and they're like weightless and in magic wonderland.
Okay, now I'm a little bit confused. And I have senior moments, so sometimes I forget things, and I could have sworn, maybe because I'm right-handed, I could have sworn we used our right hand first and then our left hand.
Yeah, actually, we did use our right hand, and to be honest, it doesn't matter which way you go with the right or left, as long as you do it in the pattern. But yeah, we totally did do it the right hand.
Okay.
Good mind.
And did we do it clockwise?
Yeah, if you start off with the right hand, like if let's say I start off and I do it with the right hand, the person on the right of me is going to put their right hand. And so it's vice versa. If I start with the left, the person to the left will put their left hand out.
Okay. Yeah. And in case
those little details are important.
Yes. And I'm detail oriented, so it's got me in trouble sometimes. But for the most part, it's been good.
Yeah.
But when I saw that young woman lift up from her seat with these two fingers. The expression on my face right now, this is just how I look.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like, duh.
Yeah. I've been trying to tell people while I'm out here that like the energy is real, because like I hear people complain about the fires in Oregon, and I just meditated with some friends in an area, like, and then 3 days later it rained in that area in Oregon. And it's like, well, I don't understand why people let these things keep them in a state of fear. And then when it happens, and like you got someone around who's telling you that like, I know how to do this and it's real and it's magic, and you don't have to worry about problems in the world. You can change it with your mind and energy. And like, we can influence this world if we understand ourselves. And especially when we got people together, you know, like there's monks that they've put in different areas, the people who meditate in like New York City, in like areas where the murder rates were really high, and they'll just sit there and pray and meditate and do their thing with their energy for love. And like the murder rates will go to like nothing for days at a time and weeks at a time and stuff like that. And so like, people can affect the world. You know, like if you put your intention and awareness on fear-based things that like are where people are suffering and stuff, your body doesn't know that that's not really even happening. Like, you might just be watching the news, but your body thinks you're like in that situation subconsciously. And so it releases these hormones that make you manifest like what they're feeling in their bodies right there, being in the situation, but you're not there, and you're like keeping your vibration low because fear and those emotions, they release, I think they make your body acidic. Like they make your the endocrine system really, really acidic, and it needs to be more alkaline. And so when it's acidic like that, you basically can't expand your energy out, you know, in a positive fashion. So let's just say you wanted to do something good with your life or whatever, you're not going to be able to accomplish it if a person's sitting there taking in the news and watching horror movies and listening to bad music and stuff like that.
Can you repeat that, please? Say that again. Somebody needs to hear that.
Yeah, people are like investing their energy into things like murder and you know, being really judgmental and just negative. Like, especially if they start this work, it's the work that I do with my energy makes things come to me faster. And so like, if I'm around something really bad, like someone's watching, let's say like homicide TV shows, like while I'm sleeping, there's going to be something crazy that happens. And like, I've had people in situations try to kill me, you know, and it's just like, I just like can't listen to different things. I have to keep myself like in a different zone, because you pull in a lot of whatever you're thinking about quicker. And so I program myself with like good positive affirmations and just keep good company. And if I can't keep good company, then I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
And I know what you say to be true about what we listen to, because if you think about it, when you're watching TV, when a commercial comes on and you sit there through that commercial break, you find yourself repeating that commercial in your head, especially a song. That's how we're being programmed. And on the radio, it's like, why am I singing this song? I don't even like this song, so why am I repeating it? And that was a word that you used. Let me go back to my notes here.
I love your hair, by the way.
Huh?
I love your hair, by the way. And tell Tony I said, hey.
I sure will. I sure will. Thank you so much. My little niece did that for me. Bless her heart. She was like, because I see all the young girls with purple hair, and I was like, oh, that is so pretty. But I don't want purple, my whole head purple. So I'll do just a few strands. That's good enough for me. So thank you very much. I received that.
cells and starts to build up in the person's blood. Over time, this extra sugar can cause problems in several places throughout the body. For example, high levels of sugar in the blood, as well as high blood pressure, can make the small blood vessels in your eyes begin to swell and bleed. When the bleeding goes into the back part of the eye, called the retina, it can cause vision problems and may even lead to blindness in some cases. Having high levels of sugar in the blood can also damage the blood vessels that bring oxygen and nutrients to the kidneys and harm the kidney cells.